I'm very much all for that change, which is quite a dramatic change when you think about it, because for, I guess, hundreds of years, it's had Britannia sitting beside us, the English flag, and now she's sitting beside the British flag. So that's an interesting change that they've made. Okay, it does leave a slight anomaly, of course, in that she's sitting beside the British flag and it's still called the Bank of England. So maybe that'll be the next thing on the agenda. They'll change it to the British Central Bank, which I would actually be quite pleased to see. I know some people are romantically attached to its old name, but we looked at that. We looked at that in our magazine there, and we made the case that, in fact, there's plenty of reasons why it needs to change, especially because it does add total confusion to the currency debate, because so many people in Scotland, even well-meaning people, imagine that the Bank of Scotland, for example, is a national bank. It's not a national bank, it's a private bank. It cannot create money. It has to borrow its money from the British Central Bank, which is misnamed the Bank of England. So then people will say, well, why does Scotland have to borrow from England? Which is an understandable confusion, because it's not actually borrowing from the Bank of England, it's actually borrowing from the British Bank, the British Central Bank. But because it's called the Bank of England, people think that we're relying on England. No, we're not. We're not relying on England, we're relying on the British Bank, the British Central Bank. And so when you don't have the right names for something, it really does confuse the issue, and it totally confused the currency issue in 2014. I remember that. I remember saying to people, no, we're not borrowing from England. It's not the English bank, it's actually the British bank. And they'd say, well, why is it called the Bank of England then? And I'd be like, yeah, good point.